What's up, everybody? Welcome back to week 11. Whatever. Of my meal prepping. So this week, I was trying to find something with a cool backstory behind it, something cool for the food-wise, and something fun to cook at the same time. So I was looking through history behind food that was like interesting to me, at least. I mean, if I didn't do it interesting for me, I'd probably get bored, so I wanted to make it cool for me. And I actually found something that was actually really interesting, I thought. So this week's meal prep is in Germany. So I can never remember the name. It's called German Swabian ravioli, pretty much. I can't remember it, but it's like an Oktoberfest kind of meal. It has a really cool backstory behind it. I'll go over at the end of my cooking, so I at least show you guys, just in case you want to watch that and not get bored of me talking. And then the last thing I did for my breakfast is muesli. I have no idea how to say that as well, but even without the pronunciation correctly, it's gonna taste really good because it looks really good. So I'm gonna take you guys on my adventure right now, show you guys step by step how to get there like you. Alright, so to start it off, we're gonna need 2 cups of flour, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The salt and pepper is going to be to taste. Then you're going to want 2/3 cup of spinach. Of course, you're going to want some nutmeg. You're going to want an onion and 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. Now, and then you need 1/2 pound of ground meat, whatever you want. You could use beef, turkey. I chose bison. I didn't want to use elk, but apparently Joe Rogan's podcast bought it all. Alright, first thing you're going to notice is this is a lot more than 2, and 2 eggs, 2 cups of everything. You're going to notice that's a lot more. I'm making more, so I doubled the ingredients. I did the math for what I need to do, but the numbers I said at the beginning, it's going to be for 4 servings. I'm making 8 servings. So once you get the 3 tablespoons of water, I think it was 2 eggs, 2 cups of flour. Once you get it all in with about a 1/4 tablespoon of salt, you start mixing it together and kneading it until it's a nice dough. This is the first time I've ever made it, so I'll show you guys how it turns out. But we're gonna do this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's nice and smooth. So after you knead it out, make it look like dough, what you're gonna want to do is put a moist towel over it for about 20 minutes at room temperature so it could rise. Now we peel and dice the onion. Once you get the onions, spinach, salt, pepper, nutmeg, breadcrumbs, and the ground meat of your choice inside of a blender, you're going to want to blend it into a nice paste. With it nice and blended like that, your next step is to get a pot boiling the water and have it at a nice heat. And you're still waiting for the dough on a moist cloth. As you guys see, my dough came out so perfect it almost looks store-bought. So I'm sure somebody or multiple of you guys were screaming at the TV or your phone telling me I forgot something. If that was one of you, just leave a comment and tell me what I forgot, or just let me know how bad I messed up, because I gave up and bought some dough. So you're going to go in here, you're going to go inside your mix, you're going to grab a little, and you're going to make it nice little triangles and fold them into halves. I'll show you what one looks, so I'll show you what they all look like when they're before I fold them. So I decided to, well, I didn't really decide to. I cut the pieces too small on some of them and too big on others. So I just kind of made them look like little pierogies. And I put the paste in the middle, and then you're going to put it on 425 degrees for a conventional oven, 400 for a standard oven. And then you're going to put it in there for 25 to 20 minutes. And when the lunch is baking we're gonna make the breakfast real fast. So what you're gonna need is rolled oats, honey, milk, Greek yogurt plain, an apple, chopped walnuts. You can use sunflower seeds or you can use chia seeds or any kind of seeds you really want. It doesn't really matter. And then for one serving, you're going to use a third cup of the oats, a third cup of the Greek yogurt, 1/4 cup of the milk, a teaspoon of honey, a full apple, a teaspoon of the chopped walnuts, and a teaspoon of your seeds of choice. So once you have the oats inside the milk of your choice, I got lazy and used regular milk. I wanted to do like almond milk, but I kind of got lazy. So you let it soak for 5-10 minutes, or until you don't see the oat or the milk anymore. And then you want your apple, half of it you're going to shred in a cheese shredder, and then dump in there. And the other half you're going to make into slices, and then dump in there. So once you have the apples and the shredded apples, you're going to add the Greek yogurt and then the honey and the walnuts, whatever seeds you like. And it doesn't look appetizing or good because all you see is that, but that's what my breakfast looks like for the next 2 days. I can assure you it tastes a lot better than inside of a mason jar. Here is my lunch the next 4 days, all extremely healthy as well, and my breakfast for 2 days. So these are not quite done yet, but as you see, as you see, my flaky dough is coming out pretty flaky. Oh man, this is a good meal prep. This is a good meal prep week. Still gonna eat it though, cause I ain't gonna waste it. I'm gonna bake it for a little bit longer though. So this is the finished product. Still looks good. Still gonna eat it. And then I'm gonna add either I'm gonna add either the honey roasted sweet corn or regular sweet peas. 2 days to make my 4 days. So first of all, I want to start off by apologizing anybody from Germany. Clearly I do not know how to make dough or cook. If you know what I did wrong, please just let me know. I mean, it still does look good to me. The breakfast I couldn't really mess up, but everything that could go wrong with the lunch did. I'm still gonna eat it. I think it still looks good, but if you could say where I went wrong with the dough, because I have no idea what I did. I followed everything it said to do. I don't know. But so all of this started because when I sent it to you guys, I found something cool, and what I found was that there's a little town in Germany. There's a little town in Germany called Malbon. Again, I don't know, I'm not gonna pronounce it right, but there was an abbey there, a nice Catholic church. So what this was is you saw how it covers it. Way back when, during Lent, the Catholics would give up meat. So I can't pronounce the big word for it, like total, like Herbage Harshisen. But what it is that they covered them because they call them little God cheaters. That's what the translation means. So when they gave up meat for Lent, they would put little the pastries over it, and they put their beef in there so that the gods couldn't see them eating it and no one else could see them eating it. And this was actually the monks doing this. It wasn't like the average day person. So it said around 17th centuries when this started, which kind of makes sense. And so it's been a tradition going on, and now it's become famous where it's actually a big tradition during Oktoberfest in Germany now. I thought that was actually really cool. And finally, usually I'd go over my weight gains and losses, but like I said last video, I'm still doing 2 weeks of challenges, and I want to say I have noticed quite a bit. One thing I want to go over this week is that I weighed myself 2 days ago and I weighed 298, so that means I lost 7 pounds. But the reason I don't really care about weight is because when I weighed myself this morning, after having a few beers and eating later, I weighed 301 pounds. So weight's not too important. It's gonna fluctuate up and down each and every time. You should not focus on the number, but focus on the inches and the results. Keep taking pictures of yourself. Keep eating healthy. Use my meal preps if you like. It's all the healthiest versions of everything I could find, or I custom make to make them a lot healthier than they originally are. So next week I should be going over my results of how things are, and like I said, there's a big difference in everything that I've been doing. If you guys like what you see, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and hit the little bell to know when I am going to upload my new videos. So I'll be seeing you guys for week 12 next Friday.